Isn't that nice? Well, to introduce our next guest, Trevor Farrell, I want you to take a look at this little piece of videotape, and I think this will better introduce Trevor to you. So watch this.
To most, Trevor Farrell is a normal 11-year-old boy. He goes to school, isn't too crazy about girls yet, and thoroughly enjoys riding his mini bike around the neighborhood. But to a certain group of people, Trevor has become very special. Between Trevor and many of the estimated 10,000 destitute, homeless street people of Philadelphia. And it all began last December.
Well, one night I was watching TV and I was flipping the channels, see what's on TV, and I saw street people living on the streets. So I asked my dad, do they really live like that? And he said, yes. And I said, can you take me down and give them something?
My first reaction was, that's a crazy kid. There's no reason for him to go in to see those people. And there was a combination of Trevor pleading with me to go see them, and then a little part of me said, well, maybe he should see that there's a darker side to life.
I finally got him to take me down. The guy we went to first, he said, I gave him a blanket, and he said, thank you, God bless you, and it was really nice. It really made me feel good, so I wanted to do it more.
And do it more, he did. After exhausting his family store of extra clothing, Trevor worked up a flyer and canvassed his suburb community of Gladwin. Word quickly spread. Soon the local media caught wind of Trevor's nightly treks, and hundreds of donations began to pour in. Today, the Farrells can be found nearly every night on the streets of Philadelphia, giving away hot meals, coats, blankets, and pillows. Each nightly pilgrimage is a touching display of love personified.
Trevor goes up to someone and he's intuitively quiet and graceful, and he doesn't pity them. He has compassion for them. He knows the pain they're in, and he doesn't judge them. Trevor is so blessed with being able to reach out to those poor souls, and he sees them for the inner beauty that is in there. And they see that. They hug and kiss him, and it's very moving.
Well, it's not all me it's Jesus inside of me that's doing it. He's telling me what to do, actually.
Trevor has acquired quite a following among these down and outers, and they endearingly refer to him by such names as Shorty, John Boy, Little Buddy, or Jesus. Trevor, too, has affectionately named some of his new friends. Scape, for instance, is just one of Trevor's favorites, called such because he literally lives on a fire escape. Recently, a 33-room hotel in the inner city was given as shelter for Trevor's motley flock, just one of a growing number of love gifts received by this young Rubbletown saint.
One Sunday, this goes back like 2.5 months ago, I said, well, let's do some cooking to support the Farrell family and Trevor. And maybe 6 families signed up. The next Sunday, we had 4 street people come to church, and 2 led worship. Now, these are people who got up off a vent that morning and came out here, and so they read scripture, they led prayer, and they spoke. The same sheet of paper went around, and 45 families signed up to cook.
When we look at the teaching of St. Matthew's, when he talks about basically what you've done for the least of these, for those who are hungry, those who are homeless, those who are in prison. And I think that the teachings of Christ really says that you care for those who are less fortunate, because when you care for those who are less fortunate, you also care for him. Trevor Farrell is an outstanding young man. More and more people, because of what he has done, are now becoming more and more concerned for the homeless.
There's a new awareness, a new feeling of love surfacing. The Lord is behind it. We have no control over it, and we're just allowing it to happen.
And this message of God's unbiased love, radiating so vividly from the selfless actions of one 11-year-old boy, has affected not only this entire city of brotherly love, but has reached the ears of thousands across our nation and the world. It's a message that continues to instill hope into the hearts of all that hear it.
Please welcome Trevor Farrell to PTL. Trevor, nice to have you here. Trevor, most kids your age that are 12 are playing sports or Pac-Man or something like that. And you're out in the streets helping people. Do you still play Pac-Man or sports, or you?
Well, when I get a chance every now and then I might play a game,
Sure.
play with my friends.
Tell us a little bit more about this. How did you feel when you first saw the street people? What did you think in your mind?
Well, I was wondering how could they live out in the cold and live on the streets, and how could they even just be on the streets? And it just made me feel really sad for them, wanting to help them as bad as I can.
When you first went down to the streets of Philadelphia to help people, were you scared?
Well, the first night I was scared, but now I'm not scared anymore, because I can see that there isn't anything to be afraid of. But like in the beginning, we went down this dark alley, and there's like 20 people waiting to get into a drop-in center, and it's a place where street people go into to get a place to stay over the night. So we had tuna fish cans to give to the street people. So my mom had the doors all locked, and we would roll down the window just partway, just enough just to slip out a can of tuna fish. And she would keep the lid to be sure they don't cut her throat, and then she'd quick vault the window. But now she just jumps out and doesn't worry about anything.
You know, a lot of times people see the people in the street and they think, well, they're scared, first of all, or they just feel like, well, these people aren't worth helping. But you found out that these are real people, and they're nice people, and they're people that really need love and help. Tell us about the kind of people you met on the street.
Well, they're kind and loving, and they're just like us. They're human beings, and they care for people, but they just don't have as much money, or they don't have a house or anybody to care for them.
Trevor's father's here with us over on the park bench, and I just had him slip him a microphone.
Thank you very much.